you walked away from 70K, you made more than 70K.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
You said you walked away from $2,000 a week, and you made more than $2,000 a week.
Yep. All the financial setbacks, all the business closed, all the leaving the other companies, and anybody watching from the outside that sees what they believe to be chaos, I want them to understand one thing and one thing only. I have never made $1 less than I made the year prior since I've been in this industry. I have consistently come back and made more than I have made the year prior to that.
And as you talked about, like the education side, like you're constantly looking at different ways to get better. Bro, that's not an industry thing. That is a mindset thing.
Yes. There's a lot of people out there that are on Instagram that I see their ads pop up, and they're giving door knocking advice, and they haven't hit doors since the Bush administration. They're like, that's just straight up. It's real.
You literally told me, you said, bro, last year, like I wasn't the most consistent. And like I didn't go viral or anything like that, but content has changed my life, and I am seeing the benefits from it.
The growth of the social media, like they're like, hey man, from where you were at a year ago to where now is like crazy. You're on LinkedIn and stuff, and like it was really receptive. And then even some of the higher ups that I look up to, they were like, they knew who I was.
All right, what's up, champions? Welcome back to another episode of the Champions Club podcast. And man, we got a great episode today. I'm here with my homie, my brother Elijah, man. So I actually came on your podcast and gave some heat, and you returning the favor, man. So I appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely, bro, man.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So today is gonna be a great conversation, man. So Elijah, he is a up and coming figurehead in the roofing industry, man. And so this dude is always on social media. He's always promoting, and one of the things that stand out is about like how ethical you are, and you really preach ethics, whether it's like with sales reps or just the business and stuff. So we're gonna get into all of that, man. So it's gonna be a great conversation, bro.
Okay.
But before we get started, I'm gonna do my little ad read. I've been practicing, bro. So one day this podcast is gonna be sponsored to you by Jarritos, your favorite fruit Mexican sodas from Mexico. So they got 13 delicious and nutritious, fruititious flavors, and I love them all. So today's flavor of the day is grapefruit. And the next time you're at your favorite Mexican joint, make sure you ask for a Jarrito, because it's the official drink of tacos.
Let's go. Also, the lime one is so good.
It's fire, man.
It's so
fire,
good,
man.
Dude. And my daughter likes the fruit punch one, but I'll knock a lime one out all day long. Yeah, it's a great drink.
All right, now that we got that out the way, so we gonna get into it, bro. First and foremost, we talked on the phone before we got on the podcast. It's been a crazy year and a half for you. And so kind of just walk me through, like, first and foremost, ever since I got introduced to your content, you always been big on ethics. You always been big on integrity. And you've been an advocate for that, man. So why is that the message that you've kind of been pushing out for the roofing industry?
So, like, everybody else that's involved into it, in the roofing industry or in any industry at all, we have to learn from our mistakes at some point in time in our lives. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't always about the ethical side of this. I wasn't always about doing things the right way. And what I found in time with that is that I was starting to lose people. There's some reps that went on to do really amazing things in the industry that worked with me. And had I had a better approach to the way I managed them, they might still be with me, Mm-hmm. There's a lot of kids that I feel sometimes I think about and I'm like, man, I really could have worked a little bit better to do some things the right way. I wish I would have done this or I would have done that. And then just failing over and over and over again in the beginning with a few companies toward a point where I realized, like, hey, man, at what point in time do I try to snap this? Like, do mm-hmm. I try to get better? And along my journey of trying to get better, I've been around and surrounding myself with better people. And then I think as that's happened, especially the influencers in the roofing industry that I choose to follow, I feel more comfortable now in just being myself and truly not chasing after money. Like, now I feel like I have a purpose. Yeah. And since I've had my purpose, I've actually made more money than I ever have the first, half of my career in this last second half. And I feel, though, if I continue this trend of just trying to genuinely be a good human being, the rest will fall into place from there.
So you talked about, you just hit it on the head when you said, like, it's becoming more than money and you found your purpose. Man, you have walked away from thousands and thousands of dollars.
A lot.
To protect your integrity, to protect your ethics. And so, man, was that something that was hard to do? Because not a lot of people not doing that, man. You know, you got kids, you got family and stuff like that. Um, like, was that a hard decision for you?
Extremely difficult, except for the first time. So it happened three times technically. This last time was a little bit of my doing as well, but we can get into that. But the first time I left a lot of money, maybe 60 or $70,000 in commission, and I mean not jobs total there. I mean like commission physically owed to me, like 70 grand.
So you telling me you walked away from $70,000?
Yeah, give or take, yeah. And not only did I walk away from it, I proudly walked away from it. I was there for 2 years, and I had done everything up to that point that they had asked me to do. And all I wanted to do was evolve. I wanted to go from not just being a sales rep anymore, but to being a sales manager, or to have some type of involvement in like developing people and working with people. Because at that time, I'd already brought in 3 or 4 of my friends. They'd all been working here really well. Like the company was going past $10 million. I was the top sales rep there for 2 consecutive years. I just felt like it was time for me to like take a step forward. They felt differently, so I left. I actually, the day I closed my house, I quit that job after they gave me the keys, because my realtor told me that the deal would fall through if I quit before that.
Right.
But I would have left a month earlier. But that was so cool to me at that time, because I'd already made money. And that's why I talk about mindset shift, because when you already make money, or you feel comfortable knowing that you could repeat your income, the world's at, you know what I'm saying, it's your oyster at that point in time, because I don't have to be bought by anybody. I know my value. So once you recognize that, you could walk away from anything that doesn't meet that criteria. And once that didn't anymore, I felt proud to say that I walked away from 70 grand. And that resulted into me getting my first sales manager's position and my first ownership position in this industry. So I learned a lot from it, and I grew from that decision. So that was one of the better ones, in my opinion.
So you know what's crazy? The reason why I brought you onto the podcast is because you're not afraid to start over. Your story is a story of, you know what, to protect my integrity and to protect my morals, my values, my ethics, F y'all. And I'm going to go build somewhere else because I'm that thing, right?
Yeah.
You left $70,000, give or take, right? A lot of people not doing that, first of all.
No.
And then as soon as you close on your house, F y'all. That's dope, bro. And so when did you have a conversation maybe with your wife or spouse about that? Like, what went through your mind when you found out you had to leave $70,000?
I'm lucky. I guess I hate using that term, but I really am, in the sense of my partner. She sometimes, I guess, would be considered bad for me in a way, because she doesn't. After I made the decision to get in this industry, because that was a fight. Telling her I was going to knock doors, turn down guaranteed money to go gamble on myself, that didn't bode well. Not with her, not with her family, not with anybody. Everybody told me this was stupid. After I started making the money that I was making, it quickly became, all right, well, I trust you. And once it became trust you, that's when she told me, hey, if you can guarantee me that you're going to make more money at the other spot than you can leave. And of course you can't guarantee that. But I told her that I guarantee her that I'll repeat what I've been doing and take the steps forward necessary to make sure that this is a good decision for us. And she accepted that answer, and we moved forward with it. The second time was a little bit different of a conversation, but the first time, yeah, we moved forward to it. So it worked well in that first situation. But the second time I had to do it was like 3 years later at a corporate company. And that was a substantial amount of money as well. And unfortunately, I currently sit in a lawsuit to try to recoup that money, which I probably will never see. That's the sad reality of what this industry used to be. I think it's cleaning up a little bit when we have people out there exposing other contractors, but a lot of sales reps got taken advantage of early on in their careers, and that's just the reality of it. I was a victim of it. I know several people who were victims of it. Yeah, and we lost a lot of commission that was owed to us off of technicalities in contracts, off the fact that we didn't know any better. We didn't have the financial capabilities of hiring and retaining lawyers to fight these guys in court. And so a lot of them made out with a lot of bread along the way that was probably owed to sales reps. And I can't stand for that anymore. And after a while, it's like when we grew up. You grow up one way, but I guarantee you that's not the way you envision raising your child. Right. You want to do it a different way. So I grew up in sales and learning sales one way. But then I'm like, well, dude, why? Why is it so difficult? Why are we treating sales reps like they mean nothing when none of us in the office have a job including the owner, without sales.
Right.
Like, what are we doing, guys? They should be the highest paid people here. They should be rewarded. And honestly, you should be trying to get them to evolve to that next level for your company as well, because you're only going to go as far as the production goes in the field, guys. Like,
Yeah.
this is not rocket science.
Right.
But for some reason, the roofing industry, they want to outthink everything. So, it is what it is.
So what's crazy is because as I hear you talking about that, what goes through my mind is, first of all, I see you right now, and man, you train sales reps, you flying all around the country. Like you said, you're standing on truth and you're spreading that message about ethics and morals. And you used to be a sales rep that got taken advantage of. That journey is a story within itself and is dope. But to hear you say that I gambled on myself and everybody told me that was stupid, what are they saying now?
No, it's not stupid anymore. It's
Right.
definitely not stupid anymore.
Yeah.
I think we're past that part in it. A lot of people are confused though, with kind of like what the journey is now. And so 2.5 years and was when I made the decision. But for the last 5 years, I've been sitting there bitching and crying about not getting my opportunity to speak. I want to get on a stage. I want to, I want to light up a room. I want to talk things because I've done them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to talk about some of the things I've done, and no one knows about it, and it sucks sometimes. And I'm like, I want to get out there. And I became everybody else. That's what I'm getting at, is I learned quickly that I'm only getting what I deserve to get out of this. And at the time, I didn't deserve shit. I'm sitting there crying like a little baby, doing nothing to provide any substance. So I turned the cameras around and I started recording a little bit. I linked up with a guy by the name of Jay Bradley, shout out Roof Nuts and Roof Camp, gave me the opportunity to speak because he saw a post that I had been snubbed at an event. And since then, man, I'm kind of like, that's my main goal. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not even trying to be a coach, to be real with you. I don't want to see people struggle. I want this industry that has been so good to me and my family. I want this industry to continue. And I want the reps to be trained the right way. And I want to develop people. And I've been with some serious coaches that like are also trying to do that same mission. And I'm inspired by that because that's what I didn't have. So if I can get out there and put my face on that, then hell yeah, I guess label me an influencer if you want to, but I don't want to see reps struggle, especially good ones. We need them. I don't want to keep losing the Best Buy fucking geek squad. Like, get them back in the roofing industry so we can have a little bit of fun. So that's my mission, man. I just want to speak on stages. I don't want to be an influencer.
So you mentioned, again, you were taken advantage of, and you have a message that you want to push. You have a purpose. And when you say you want to train sales reps the right way, what does that look like, bro?
So there's a lot that goes into it. So originally I used to think it was like, just give them a good pitch, motivate them. I can make anybody run through a brick wall. Bring them in the office and I'll hype you up. Motivate them, and then you put them out there. But then you learn, no, dude, like, psychology of sales is much deeper than just knocking on a door or meeting somebody and tell you. You have to be able to identify who each individual person is. You got to be able to adapt to who they are, because one of my favorite people in the world that does this, Deshaun Bryant, he had a saying. I forgot exactly how it goes, but it's don't talk to people, or don't treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Yeah. Like, that's how you got to approach sales. And in order to do that correct, you have to know who they are. And you only got like 7 to 10 seconds to figure out who they are as soon as they open that door. Right. And then you gotta go into what favors for them. And then a large part of sales is also listening. It's not so much, a lot of companies want to spend time on the warranty, the material, closing the deal. But it goes beyond that. How about developing a relationship? How about asking questions and allowing the homeowner to speak to you? How about learning what actually is the issues with them and then diving into those issues so you can offer solutions? Because once we offer solutions to problems, that's how deals get done. And yeah, there's a hustle into it, of course, but we already know that. We know the grind. Everybody does. And it's like working out, or like anything else. We know how to do it. A lot of us ain't going to do it. That's all it is. But, like, we know how. So I like to move away from the formula of hustle because that's self-explanatory. And let's get into the psychology of why you aren't closing doors. Do you know how many deals you need to hit your quota? Do you know how many deals you need to hit your goals? What are your goals? Are they obtainable? How do you plan to do that? You're setting goals with no vehicle on how to get there. Like, that's the issues. So I try to dive into that part of it. And I've learned that from numerous sales trainings that I've been a part of. And that's what you're supposed to do. Take a little bit from everybody and then make it your own and deliver it to everybody. So the packages get stronger and stronger by the people who know how to develop.
Dude, so what's crazy? I'm hearing you say this, bro, and the authenticity that you speak it with, the passion that you speak it with, you could tell it's no BS, man. Like you, when somebody actually goes through that thing and have knowledge about that thing, they just speak different. You know what I mean? Like your experience in talking about door knocking and building relationships. Honestly, and this is also something that we even talked about, like on our podcast. You also talked about listening, and different sales tactics and stuff like that. But going back to you losing that commission, something I wanted to ask you, because I see where you are right now, right? And you are speaking, you are doing the
Mm-hmm.
things that you wanted to do. What motivated you to actually keep going? Like when you left that job and you say, you know what, like I'm done, like what was the action plan in order for you to keep going?
To help others. But I do two things. I did two things that were really impactful. The second one I don't really talk about too often, but I
Mm-hmm.
will right now. So the first one, I keep a journal, and I tend to write down stuff that I do in meetings. I write down content ideas I have. I write down client information.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll write down a quote. If I hear you say something in a meeting that might get brought up later, I write it down because year one and two in this industry, I learned quickly that if I don't log anything or if I don't keep track of anything,
Mm-hmm.
then they used to say, hey, if it didn't happen in the CRM, it didn't happen, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I started documenting shit mostly to cover
Mm-hmm.
my own
Mm-hmm.
ass. So then I'll go back sometimes and I'll reflect on it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll read something. I'm like, oh my God, you idiot. Why would you say that? Like, why did you think that way? And then you watch how your thought processes has changed. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm big into like flight assessments and personality tests. So I've done like 5 of them since I've been in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how the evolution has gone in my brain, how it's shifted and stuff. And then the second part is, and this one I don't really talk about that often to everybody, but I tell people who are close to me, I know that I'm making the right decisions in everything I do in this industry. And even with all the losses, all the financial setbacks, all the business closed, all the leaving the other companies, and anybody watching from the outside that sees what they believe to be chaos, I want them to understand one thing and one thing only. I have never made a dollar less than I made the year prior since I've been in this industry. So I have consistently come back and made equal or more. Well, more. I haven't even made equal. I've made more than I have
Okay.
made the year prior to that
So
by thousands.
you walked away from 70K, you made more than 70K,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
You said you walked away from 2 grand a week,
Mm-hmm.
and you made more than 2 grand a week.
Yep.
So okay, when you were walking away from the money,
Mm-hmm.
did you have kids at the time?
Yeah. So when I got into this industry, that's what woke me up. I had a kid. I took a chance, man. When I got into this, I was supposed to go to Amazon. I was supposed to go work an Amazon managerial position, and I put my 2 weeks notice in at a place, got let go, and then I'm waiting for Amazon to open, and then Amazon calls me and says, "Hey, man, we're in about a month to 2 month setback from the facility. It was being built, it wasn't ready, typical construction fashion." So I'm like, "Well, shit, I don't know what to do." And one of my buddies was like, "Hey, you need to come over here," and he had already tried to get me to come door knock, and I'm like, "Bro, it's a scam. I think what everybody else thought, it's a scam."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I'm not doing that shit." So then when I was in that position, I'm like, "Bro, you got to pay me some type of hourly wages, anything to keep money coming in my pocket." And he's like, "Well, we'll give you $10 an hour. You just go hit doors, and then we'll still give you your commission or whatever," because they didn't have any door knockers. So I go out for 2 days, and I had no idea what I was doing. And then the third day, I had a conversation at lunch, changed my whole life. I speak about this too when I do my speeches, but some girl that worked with us, some little 18-year-old kid, she was talking about how they built her aunt's roof and siding. And then it took me 3 days to allude to how shit the training was. 3 days to find this out. And then I find out that the insurance company paid for it. All she paid was her deductible. And then at that time, sorry guys, 2016, she didn't even pay her deductible. So they had all that shit going on. And I'm like, hold on a minute. I thought we were knocking doors for people to buy this stuff. I'm like, this is going to take forever to land one of these. And we weren't knocking doors for retail. We're knocking doors for insurance work. And I'm like, guys, how are you not getting a bunch of leads? And they're, oh, well, it's harder than you think it is. 'Cause I wasn't allowed to knock for 3 days. And they're like, it's harder than you think it is. I said, no, it's not. I said, I'm sorry, but like, you guys are making it harder than you think than it is. Like, let me go out here and knock some doors. And yeah, dude, it was just a natural conversation, man. I started getting inspections, and then I slowly worked in on spots where I wouldn't book out anymore. I would just set it up to where my sales rep could come right now. And then I found that if I stay there and I talk to them, not only do I learn more about the homeowner, which is what they want.
Yeah.
They want to have a good conversation. Let the closer, if that's the model you have now, let them go up there and handle their business. You build rapport with the homeowner. and then I would find that more deals would get closed, but then I'd also get to see the deals get closed. So then I'm learning on that side of it, and just continue in education. That's the best thing you can do as a sales rep is just look for anything to get better. Just look any way to get better.
So first of all, man, shout out to wifey because I'm hearing this, bro, and she told you, like you to guarantee me and to do this. But one thing I think that is standing out to me is because I actually talked about this with one of my friends, bro. He want to get into something and his wife is not sure about him doing that thing. And he was like, well, bro, she don't trust me. I was like, man, you don't even trust you. He's like, what do you mean? Man, 3 months ago, you wanted to start a dog breeding business and you didn't. That fell flat. You see what I'm saying? Then you said you wanted to do car detailing. You bought all materials and then you didn't go hustle. Your wife know you, bro. She lay next to you. You see what I'm saying? So every time that you go out and you talk about what you're going to do and you don't follow, now she know you just talking. So why would you want her to gamble income, to gamble all that stuff? Because when your mouth opens, your actions don't follow. You see what I'm saying? So for your wife to say, all right, cool, let's do it, you opened your mouth and your actions followed, dog. That is dope. And for you to make more money after you walked away from a situation lets me know that you really are hustling. You really are grinding out there. You're living what you're speaking. And as you talked about, like the education side, like you're constantly looking at different ways to get better. Bro, that's not an industry thing. That is a mindset thing.
Yes. Yeah.
That is 100% a mindset thing. Even if I take a loss, I'm gonna make it a win. Like that is, it's this saying that I have up there. It's a quote of mine. Like a real hustler.
Oh, that's your quote.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro. They know that the situation don't determine the outcome. Like perspective does.
That's badass, by the way. I did not see that. That's so cool.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to you, bro. And I love your mindset and I love your perspective. And another thing that you said was you wanted to speak on stages. You said you were whining like a baby because you weren't speaking on stages.
Yep.
Okay, so why were you saying that? Like, were you on social media saying that you weren't like?
Oh, dude, I would just bitch and cry all the time.
Because the reason I'm asking is because I never see you complaining. Anything that I ever.
No, believe me, I complain. There'll be people watching, be like, "Fuck you." He complains all the time.
Okay.
I bitch all the time, dude. Like if something doesn't go my way, but I'm smart in how I do it. I'm not gonna fucking air it out in front of everybody unless I'm like really. If I get on live or if I get on something and I take a shot at you, it's because I'm really pissed off at you. Then I will do it. I'm very vindictive in some ways. But most of the time when I'm bitching, dude, it's just most like venting. And I've learned over the course of years to be careful on what I'm venting about or who I'm venting it to and stuff, and try not to push that out there on my platforms.
Yeah.
But no, I bitch about a lot of things, dude. There's a lot of things that bother me. I was on Dimitri Lipinski's podcast, Roofing Insights. Shout out to him, by the way. He's the one that gave me the idea to go live on TikToks. But I aired it out with him, and he's very good at getting somebody riled up, and then when he feels it, he'll get you open up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to get better. Like, all right, hold on a second. Like this dude is
don't bait me.
Yeah, he wants me to come out now, and believe me, I want to come out too. But I got to retain some of that, so I'm trying to work on that. I appreciate you saying that though.
Yeah.
But no, I complain a lot, man. I just I'm working on it every day. We got to work on being better humans, man.
Perfect.
That's literally all I'm trying to do. It's crazy.
Why was it eating you up so alive? Like because you weren't speaking on the stage?
No, dude, it's not. It has nothing to do with me speaking on stage, and I kind of talked about that too. Like, why are we listening? It's changed now. It's gotten a little bit better.
Okay.
But about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it's the same speakers. You don't even have to go to the events anymore to figure out who was going to be. You could sit at home and write down on your list who the main stage speakers were going to be, and then hand that list to somebody and wait for it to get announced, and I guarantee you they're going to check off that list.
So were they talking about the same stuff every year, all the time, or
more than likely are pushing product? There's a lot of there's a lot of politics involved in the roofing industry. That's not even the grievance anyway, guy. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with me standing on the stage. Like, that's my personal goal.
Yeah.
It has to do with give me substance. Give me something from somebody who's knocking. There's a lot of people out there that are on Instagram that I see their ads pop up, and they're giving door knocking advice, and they haven't hit doors since the Bush administration. They're like, that's just straight up. It's real, dude. It's real. And then there's people that I see on TikTok, and shout out to everybody making content. That shit's awesome. I love it. But there's people on TikTok that are giving scaling your business advice, and the highest they've ever scaled is $1.5 million to $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, bro. There's people in this industry that sell 18 million a year.
Right.
That's more than I even ran. I scaled to 14.5, and that's peanuts. And then I got to go on TikTok, and there's someone who did it for $1.5 million, and you want to tell people how to, well, you got to slowly get into it. It's slowly, dude, stop. We're not here for a long time. There's no guarantees for tomorrow either. If you can scale, you need to scale right now.
So,
if you want to scale.
You know what I think is dope? Because I'm seeing this happen. It's a trend that's going on in marketing industries and influence industries, and now I'm hearing it in the roofing industries where, first of all, you will learn quickly that a lot of social media is fake media. That's the first thing. The second thing is these people who are selling these courses and are actually going up on stages and stuff like that, these people are better marketers and influencers than teachers. They know how to make it look good. They know how to make it sound good. They know how to make you feel good, right? And then you go, the delivery of the product falls flat.
But
and
that's
you're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah, but that's why it's important for the people that if you're watching these people, what my thing is it's easy to say that someone doesn't know what they're doing because there's a lot of them in our industry that do that. They'll come on posts and they'll just annihilate you and tell you don't know what you're doing. Here's the thing. If you're going to say something doesn't work, you got to try it.
Right.
So that's why I don't knock anybody personally, except for the ones that I've experienced. And even then, I don't bash anybody that I didn't feel the training was good or top notch. But then there's people who do trainings that have bad reputations, and that people are like, oh, they cost so much money. It's $20,000 to bring that guy out here for a week. It's not worth that. But I paid $40,000 for 2 guys to come out for a week, and I don't regret any of it because I apply what I learned from them, and it's made me a better salesman. It's made me open my eyes. It's made me read books. It's made me, level up on myself. So if you don't have a coach and you want to shit on coaches, you're an idiot. Go get one and find out. Imply that shit and find out who's full of it and who's not. Now, the courses, I too disagree with that to an extent. It really depends on who the individual is. But there's like an Alex Hormozy. Who might argue with him? You want me to argue with someone who built an empire up? No.
Yeah, right.
Billionaires, I'm not arguing with them. They obviously know what they're doing, but there are a lot of gurus that, want overnight marketing especially.
Right. Well, see, because here's my thing, bro. Like, I'll give you a prime example. So, like, I teach social media classes, right?
Yeah.
Marketing.
I love that,
all
by
that
the way.
stuff,
That's
right?
awesome.
And so, one thing that the reason I started doing this was because it was asked of me from people that was watching my content.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, I didn't do it, and I'm not viral or anything, but like, I feel like I know how to nurture your audience, build an audience, and then create an offer, make money. It's my own little strategy, right? I see people trying to do the same thing, and then they'll have a course which is like $6,000, $10,000 or whatever, and like you said, but when it's inside your industry, sometimes it's bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Like roofing through and through. If you start paying attention to somebody's course, sometimes you can be like, all right, now that's some bullshit. You know what I mean?
All the time.
I
see it all the time.
Now, the reason I like your approach because you show up, right? You talk about certain things that people don't want to talk about. They tap dance all around certain conversations. You go ahead, like, we need that Kendrick Lamar type of energy. Like, that we'll see the industry, we'll see everything that's going on, and we're like, nah, this ain't right. And when we let certain people into the culture, when we let certain people into the industry, right, the Drakes or whatever, and they're kind of tainting it. I'm gonna get the sweeper. I'm about to sweep everything up. And so how do we do that? Like you said, you expose certain things. You start bringing truth to certain things. And
it doesn't have to be an attack on anybody.
No,
it just has to be on like what to watch out for and the methods that other people are using and stuff. And I'm a strong advocate in believing that I would never ask anybody to do anything I can't do myself. And I would never, ever get in front of a camera and speak on something that I have no idea what I'm talking about. That's lunacy.
But I'm saying, like, really, we are in an era where my coach Omar said it's a trust recession. You see what I'm saying? Because the course industry, the coaching industry, online space is not regulated. So people can come on here, they can make whatever they want to make, and they can sell whatever they want to sell, and they don't have to deliver. You know what I mean? So when I see you, like, making content all the time, and you make it's value based. When I see you go on podcasts and talk about certain situations where I don't think anybody that I've seen, because roofing content, I know buddies that's roofers, they don't touch those conversations, but you touch those conversations. This is how you become an industry leader, bro. You see what I'm saying? This is how you become a thought leader. Like, when I see you, you were on a podcast, and like when you guys did Roof Trollz and stuff like that, and you start talking about this ethics, I don't hear people really speaking on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, man, I just salute you and hats off to you for doing that, because we need to start bringing realness and truth back into a lot of industries, bro. Like,
Yeah,
straight
I
up.
can't speak on like the marketing industry, but the roofing industry is cleaning up. I mean, there's lawyers out there that are getting active on LinkedIn. They're sharing posts that are being put out there. They're sharing lives that have been put out there. We're watching people. You know, I tell my guys, and I'm actually building a sales team now, but I tell them all the time, I'm like, guys, you got to watch. Everybody's filming you. You just
Yeah.
got to assume that you're being on camera at every moment of your life, because sadly you are. And there's so many roofers out there that, for no reason, by the way, guys, creating damage is so stupid. There's 8.5 million homeowners out here in this country alone. Like, stop, dude.
Yeah.
But like, they're out there creating damage, and they're getting arrested. They're getting, financially, they're taking money and stuff, and they're getting caught doing it. It's hurting our image a lot. But what I enjoy is there are people out there doing the same thing I'm doing on a whole different level of exposing these people, and it's a beautiful thing, because it is going to clean our industry up. And then the government now is holding carriers feet to the fire too. So you're watching like Allstate have to get up and speak in front of board members, on public record, explaining why in the hell they didn't cover this house that was ripped out of the ground from a hurricane or whatever. It's like, that's amazing, dude, to watch that happening. And I don't wish ill will on anybody. I really don't, because there's good adjusters and bad adjusters, good contractors and bad contractors. But
Right.
what I do wish is that we would all stop chasing money, start chasing purpose, and keep our industry clean. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
And silly me for asking for that, I guess,
That's been your message, bro.
Yeah.
That's been your message. And now, so let me ask you this: since we touching on social media and stuff, bro, like, why did you choose that path for you?
So I was so scared. I still am sometimes, dude. I it takes so many takes sometimes to put out a video, and it's an uncomfortable thing, dude. And you got to get comfortable with it. So like, you have to keep doing it.
Right.
But it's true, like it's anything else. After you shoot a whole bunch of it, it's cake now. Now I want to be in front of a camera. Before I didn't. Now I do want to. And what's really cool about it is the stuff that people don't see. And I know you know about this too. Everybody who makes content should know about this. But like, I get messages all the time. And they'll say, hey, man, I just started doing this, dude. I really love your content, man. Shit gets me fired up. Or I'll get a message and be like, dude, I love this video. Like, this is so cool. Like, I appreciate it. Where are you out of, Or they'll say, hey, I got some advice, man. I saw your videos, and I really like that you did this. I even had one person that was messaging me, asking me to make content for them. So I would go and I would do it at their request. Like, I had no intention to even make one of those videos. One of them got 500 likes, 6,000 views. And I didn't even want to make that video. I shouldn't say I didn't want to,
Yeah.
but I had no intentions of making the video. They reached out to me about it, and I was like, man, this is really cool. Like, I posted some of them. They make you feel good. But the coolest experience, I would say right now, was last week, man.
Tell me about it.
So last year when I did some events, I had a couple people that are like, hey, man, I see your content. That's awesome. I'm like, oh, dude, that's great. When I went to RoofCon, it was incredible, man. Everybody. I didn't have to explain who I was most of the time. Like, we were just, everybody knew me, and even the people that I didn't have that well of a relationship with, but because I've developed a relationship online over the course of a year, you feel like you know people and you don't even know them. So I had never even met some of these people, and they were coming up to me and we were having full-on conversations about the growth of the social media. Like, they're like, hey, man, from where you were at a year ago to where now is crazy. You're on LinkedIn and stuff. And it was really receptive. And then even some of the higher ups that I look up to, they were like, they knew who I was. And I think the most gratifying moment, I told the guy this too, I'm be a fanboy for a second, but Eric Oberman, and I probably chopped your last name up, sorry. But he has a podcast called Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. And it's an awesome podcast. And I've been trying to get on it for 3 years, bro. I went to Orlando RoofCon, tried to get in.
Yeah.
Went to Win the Storm, I just trying to get on this fucking podcast. And he always told me he's booked up. Shout out to Eric. He told me on the podcast that was bullshit. He just lied to me because he didn't know who the fuck I was.
Right.
He didn't want no stale-ass conversation.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
For real.
I
Straight
respect
up.
the hell out of that.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
And when I went up to him, he turned around. He goes, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, yeah, I was going to come over here to try to get on the show. He's like, yeah, dude, I got 3 or 4 time slots. What time do you want to get on? And he had me fill out this thing, and then he ended up messaging me early. I hopped on at 4, and he's like, hey, man, we're going to get on for 15 minutes. And if it's shit, I'm going to cut it off. It's never going to air. It is what it is. Dude, the guy's so raw and real.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Dude, you got to watch that podcast when it comes out.
All right.
He talks so ridiculous. And it was a really good podcast. And I look up to the guy. I mean, I can go on record saying that. He's a guy that speaks speaks like I do, and I'm seeing the success he has and telling people to go fuck themselves, and I'm really inspired by that. You know, so like I'm like on this podcast chopping up with him, and it goes an hour and 40, and it only got shut down because they were closing the facility where we were at. But that made me feel real good, like to want to be part of that, to then be invited on to that, and then to have the conversation to stay on there as long as I did, and it was just a really cool experience. And he helped me to realize, you know, like I'm a good person. I really am. Like I think bad sometimes, and I may tend to fucking snap a little bit, but my reaction has gotten so much better over the course of years that like, nah, yeah, I do feel like I genuinely I'm trying to at least be a good person. And I do find it. I'm swaying in that direction, you know, but it's hard, bro. It's work every day.
Yeah.
But that was a cool moment, though.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. When we had a conversation on the phone, you know, we did the planning for the podcast. You literally told me something. I wrote it down in my notes because for anybody that's out there that is either thinking about creating content or they're creating content right now and they're not seeing the results, this is good motivation for them to keep going. You literally told me, you said, bro, last year, you know, like I wasn't the most consistent. And you know, like I didn't go viral or anything like that, but content has changed my life and I am seeing the benefits from it.
Yeah.
And that is an example, bro. Like people don't understand, like when you look up to somebody, right? And you want, like a dream is to go on that podcast, or, you know, you that's a motivation to go on that podcast. For that person to acknowledge you and bring you on, and you have not been the most consistent, you see what I'm saying? You ain't go viral. Bro, to me, that is literally speaking to how powerful social media is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and here's the thing. A lot of people, they don't understand that, because this is what I teach, like in the classes, bro. Consistency is not a strategy; it's an output. Right? So that means that you, like, if you just posting just to show up, just to, you know, put a tally mark on the chalkboard, it's not going to do shit for you at all. Zero. Right? But when you show up and you have purpose, when you show up and you have you posting with intent, and you starting to add a strategy to what you're doing, then it starts to hit different. You know, and I'll be honest, bro, you made a video and it was talking about how sales reps need to start promoting themselves opposed to the company.
Yep.
Right? And so bro, which you know my story. It's hitting me, right? But like, I have not heard anybody else in the roofing space say something like that. Because again, we talked about, you know, the sales reps and the stuff like show me a guy who owns a roofing company telling his guys, don't brand me, brand yourself.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do that.
No.
Right? So the people who are being real in your industry see your authenticity, and bro, it's like a hot knife through butter, dog. It's cutting through the bullshit. And
it saved me, bro. Like, think about where I would be right now if I didn't have any social media presence the last 2 years and I fell out at the company I was at. Nobody would know who I am or anything, and I'd have a hard time explaining exactly what took place and what didn't. Now, I've been on 20 podcasts where I speak on what I'm against, and then I could just tell them, hey, they wanted to go private equity. They wanted to roll into this situation. I wasn't comfortable with it. It was a mutual breakup, and we parted ways with it. That's plain and simple. And then I got a track record to prove that on video, you know, where if I have to have that conversation with no experience, you know, if somebody's going to struggle to understand that, they're going to be like, bro, what do you mean you walked away from $300,000 a year because you didn't want to sell? What are you, stupid? And like, hey, man, maybe we'll find out on Christmas. Yeah, right. We'll find out at the end of the year. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I am. Maybe this is the first time I take a step back. But again, even if I take a step back financially, where did I take my step forward morally? Do I stand on more ground now? Do I believe in myself more? Have I come to terms with happiness and enjoyment inside of myself, and my bank account made a little bit less money? What's the price for happiness? What's the price for freedom? You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I'm selling my soul for my bread anymore. What's that worth?
Right. Man, you know what? At some point, you got to make a decision. You just got to. You know, are you going to, like you said, you're going to sell your soul for the money and for all this other stuff, or you're going to stand on your morals? But what I know, and I know this for a fact, when you go out and you burn people, it's gonna get around, bro.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. First of all,
I lived on that side the first couple of years in here, man. I made bad decisions, 100%, dude. I don't even. And there's no sugarcoating that, man. I fired reps that probably I shouldn't have fired. I talked to people like shit. I was difficult to work with, difficult to manage over. I know that, and you got to learn from those things.
Yeah, bro. Because like I remember one time my dad said, you know, a man, bro, at the end of the day, a man only got his word, you know what I mean? And then, you know, he got his ethics, bro. So like you gotta stand on your word. And like for me personally, as a guy that was a sales rep that got done bad, it's like it almost really makes you have a bad taste in your mouth about an entire industry. But the entire industry is not bad.
Yeah, no.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no.
You see what I'm saying? So
And you'll find yourself in that too. Sometimes you want to blame the company, you want to blame everybody. I tell reps all the time, dude. They'll come to me and they're like, "Dude, you guys didn't do this, this, and this, and this." I'm like, "All right, cool, man. I got it. All right, I got the list of everything we didn't do. All right, what didn't you do right? Oh, you ain't got a list of what you didn't do right? Well, hey, don't worry about it because I do.
Yeah,
Pop
yeah.
on the computer and go down the list. Now, what contributed to the stall in the file? You know, both of it, dude.
Yeah.
But one can't go without the other one. Do not tell people how to do things until your backyard is spotless.
Right,
Once
right.
your shit's like perfect, you know what I'm saying? You walk in this motherfucker like Jesus, then we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, man, we're
Yeah.
all wrong. You're right. I've never had that conversation. I just got reason to believe in 11 years. I probably won't in the next 11. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
Like, it's I've dealt with some very talented reps, but everybody's got mistakes and flaws that they make too. And
Yeah.
I think we need to start with accountability in here
Exactly.
before we start wanting to push off accountability everywhere else.
But that's the problem, bro. Everybody they don't think they should stink. You see what I'm saying? And then everybody feel like they got to speak on stuff. Like I'd say, you know, when I was beefing with my old company, you know, I had people that was pulling me to the side and they would be like, you know what, Sailor, man, you really shouldn't do that. You know, you should take the high road and blah blah blah. First of all, man, I stand on what I stand on, and I move how I want to move, whether you like it or not, right? I don't need counselors. When I make my decision, that is my decision, right?
Yeah.
Period. But then I told him, I said, look, bro, everybody want to give you advice when they not the ones getting punched in the face. You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to tell you how you should get punched in the face. You're not getting punched in the face. Now, let somebody go do the same thing that happened to me to you for 4 straight years, and let's see how you respond.
Yep.
Right? And then all of a sudden, you know, don't nobody want to say nothing, because it's like, unless you dealt with what I dealt with, and then you took the action plan that you're trying to give me, I don't want to hear it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
it's easy to judge from the
easy,
outside.
exactly,
Yeah, it really is.
Because don't nobody know what you go through,
Yeah.
right? Like behind closed doors and the decisions that you have to make for
Oh,
your
it's
family. all that
battles,
stuff.
bro. It's battles.
Right.
And I'm no perfect human being either. Like, I struggle with being a better partner at home. I'm lazy sometimes around the house. I'm not cleaning on the level I should be. I don't focus on my home the way I should be sometimes. I miss opportunities to play with my little girl sometimes. I speak poorly to Amanda occasionally. Like, I have a lot of demons inside my shit that I deal with as well. But we're all working toward being better human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, it's all about, like, are you trying to get better? Are you continuously being a piece of shit over and over and over with no, like, morals in it? You know, that's the fucked up part. And like I said, anybody from the outside can tell you how one thing should be, but like they never lived it. They never experienced it.
Yeah.
People are like, why? I don't know how you could walk away from all that money and still sell roofs. You know, like, what happens when it happens again? I don't know, bro. What happens when your
Right.
Target burns down that you work at? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happens. I don't know. Life goes on from there, bro. That's what happens.
I don't really like, I'm gonna say I don't like those kind of people. I don't like that kind of thinking. Like, what if, and then the bad comes after. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Why,
Like,
dude?
what if good? Why
Yeah,
you gotta say what if
yeah.
bad? What if good? What if
Yep.
something good happens? What if something great happens?
Yep.
Like me personally, bro. Like I denounce all negativity when it comes to how I'm moving. You know, hey man, listen. Every man gotta draw a line. How you move, that's how you move, and I will never judge how you move because I'm not counting your pockets. I don't gotta feed your kids. Whatever you think is right, that's cool.
Yeah.
But when it comes to over here, my decision is my decision, and that's final, right?
And it is common sense. We have no
Yeah.
choice.
Right.
You know,
Right.
what happens when your house burns down? Do you have
Yeah.
insurance? Okay, we're good then. What happens when you lose your job? Well, you get another one. What
Right.
happens when you run out of money? You make
Yeah.
more.
Right.
Like it's common sense. We don't get the choice when you have children
Mm-hmm.
of what happens if you go broke. It won't. It won't happen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the mindset. It won't happen.
Right.
What happens if social media doesn't work out for you? There is no doesn't work out. There is
But-
no road where it doesn't.
My thing is, it's kind of in the Bible, but I guess the gist of the verse is plant your feet and you will be blessed. Another, if somebody don't get that one, it's a saying, all roads lead to Rome.
Yeah.
Bro, if I make up in my mind that's where I'm going or this is the outcome that's going to happen, if I stay on the path, it's going to happen because what people don't account for is, one, the personal development. You just talked about it. You know, like trying to be better, whether it's a better husband, better father, all these different things is like that is a winner's mentality. If I decide to do one thing and get better at that one thing, how can I not get results at that one thing? The only time it don't work as if you doing it. That's
Yeah.
something wrong with you.
It's funny you said
right?
that. There's a book called Essentialism by Greg McKeown or McCowan. I think it's McCowan. And bro, that book is so good. That book changed my life. But inside that book, it explains that as human beings, we tend to take all of our energy and we exhort it to so many things. So you have like 12% here, 8% here, 70% here, and instead of doing that, if we would really prioritize what's important to us and take 100% of our energy and put it toward that before we moved on to something else, our lives would go so much smoother. Everything would just would be so much better. So like this year, that's why I say it's kind of like it's the year of efficiency is what I've been telling everybody because I'm big on the one word. I read a book. I don't know if you ever pick your word or choose your word.
No.
Dude, it's badass. So you
Okay.
pick a word and that's your whole year reflects on that one word. You memorize it. You say it to yourself every day. You hold yourself to that. That's what you built your year around. So 2026 is the year of efficiency for me. But basically, it's just me being selfish. I'm going to help everybody who wants to be helped. I'm no longer going to come into your house and drag your ass out of bed. I'm no longer going to give you game if I know you ain't taking it and using it. I'm no longer going to work with you if I see that you're not implementing what we work on daily. If you ain't reading books, I don't want to be around you. If you're not speaking the way that I'm speaking, I want to be around you. If you laugh at my goals or you think it's stupid, I don't want to be around you. Like I'm going to be extremely selfish with not in the sense of me being selfish, but in what I intake and what I put out. I take a lot of fucking energy over the last few years, and I've invested into a lot of people that I saw something in that they didn't have themselves. And that's really sad when you believe in somebody more than they do themselves. So this year, I'm going to take all my energy, I'm going to keep it in me. I'm going to do me. And then if somebody along the way I see putting forth effort and wanting to get better and I can help them, you're damn right I'm going to help them. But if they don't ask for it this year or if they don't earn it this year, you ain't getting it this year.
You know what, man? Bro, you speaking to my spirit, dog. I think we was meant to have this conversation. We about to chop it up. So check this out, man. Like I felt like the last couple years. So first of all, me being 26, right, being an entrepreneur, renting photo booths and coaching and stuff like that, I just kind of felt like I've had people in my circle or around me or whatever. Sometimes these people they don't know that they don't have your best interest in mind. You know what I mean? They don't try to mean you harm, but their behaviors, the negativity, certain things,
And they can't catch it about themselves.
and they can't exactly.
It sucks, man.
And so what I'm learning now is like, first of all, protecting your space and your peace and your time is not a crime, right? Like when you start setting boundaries, it's like because people's like, man, so you just gonna cut people off? Well, that's one option, but sometimes when you start setting boundaries, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going here,
yeah,
I'm
but it's
not
not
doing
you
this.
cutting them off, though. They chose to be cut off by their actions.
Well, exactly, yeah, like
Yeah.
that, yeah, but like
We're hungry. We're just going to tell you what we need out of our relationship.
Yeah.
That's all.
Right.
And if we can't meet the criteria, I hope you feast. I hope
Yeah.
you eat a delicious meal. I hope it's big as fuck. It just ain't gonna be at my table.
Right.
That's all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't wish ill will on you. Like
and
you
it
gonna make
it
that
don't
money.
have to
Yeah.
be beef, but we splitting ways. But
Yeah.
sometimes, man, we start setting those boundaries, bro. They leave they self. You see what I'm saying? They'll just stop calling, which is cool. And like
Sad.
it's
I'm gonna be
sad.
honest, it ain't
Yeah.
cool. It's sad.
Well, I'm saying
like,
it's cool.
It's
for me. I
cool
don't
for
have to-
We're gonna bounce back, and you've done us a favor. Like Allen Iverson, I shared that clip a few days ago. He made on his speech in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He said, "I want to give a shout out to the people who aren't my friends anymore, to the ones that like revealed themselves and allowed me to make better decisions picking friends in the future." You know, that's what it's all about. But just so they know, I still miss you. I still think about you. I still hope you're doing well. That shit hurt my soul. When I left Roman's Roofing, that shit hurt my soul. There was no fun part of that. There was no, hey, I should do this because fuck those guys. But how people outside of my circle have responded to what happened there and how people in the industry have responded and multiple others throughout my life, you really quickly realize like, all right, man, hey, you loved me when I was there, and now you don't love me. Or you loved me when I was doing this, and now you don't. Or then you get the positives. You're like, oh man, we're really proud of you. And that's awesome, dude. But I need them to understand that too. So everybody looking in, like, Roman's Roofing is a sore spot. It ain't a fucking take pride in walking away from that. And there is some animosity between the two of us because they expect for me to do things that I'm not going to do to them, and I expect for them to do things that hopefully they won't do to me either. And it's called having our guard up because we've been hurt so many damn times. But at the end of the day, dude, I don't wish any ill will on them. I think that some things could have been handled a little bit differently, and I believe that some of the people who are there aren't really getting the full perspective of what actually took place. But at the same time, though, I hope those guys do really well. I literally, I genuinely do not want to like see them do anything outside of like performing at a high level, and I hope they retain people, and I hope that they're able to build and scale the way they were going to. I couldn't do the private equity stuff and the whole platform thing, but I am not against them at all. Like so that I know they think that, but I want to clear the air on that.
So you know what, man? Let's go there. Let's talk about it. So is that the company that you're suing?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
We're gonna get there. But with Roman's Roofing, when you said that broke your soul, and you don't really have to get too deep, but man, what happened, bro? It was going good. I'm seeing trucks everywhere.
So no, it was great, man.
Podcast is going on, and it seemed abrupt. when I seen that post, bro, I was like, man, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. What really sucks is there's a few things that played in a factor in that, but I'd say the shittiest part of the whole situation is that at the end of the day it could have been avoided. I heard everybody would come to me and they'd say, hey man, Elijah, it's so stupid to have 6 owners. And I would combat it with being like, hey man, first off, I don't give a fuck what you think. Secondly, 6 owners is 6 different perspectives to look in on the situation and make sure you're not making mistakes. When those 6 owners are on the same page, that shit's fluent, bro. It's rolling. We did a lot of things to help each other in the beginning, and it helped to create a badass system.
Were you one of the 6 owners?
Yeah, yeah. So after about 2 years, not even 2 years, man, about a year and a half, it started getting rumblings about let's sell it. And I'm like, guys, come on, man. We ain't been here but 2 years. What do you mean sell it? We don't even know what this is yet. It's like Mark Zuckerberg and the social network. He's like, we don't even know what it is. What do you mean sell it? That's how I'm like, dude, you don't even know what this is yet. Like, we're not selling this. Relax for a minute. Let's scale this bitch. That was the game plan. We're gonna come over here. I wanted to build a destination spot. My goal was to have a sales rep retire with me. So I went on there. I helped them to get 401k, to get benefits, to do salaries, to do things differently than other roofing companies are doing right now. And it started to slowly become about, how much money we're making as individuals, and what's the value of that company now. So like, and this is a really weird conversation to have because there's 2 sides to this, and people think now I hate private equity, and I don't. What I don't like is when you're not transparent about what you want to do or how you want to do it. So when we got into this, we all said we'll sell Roman's Roofing. Agreed on that 100%. The game plan was to sell it in 3 to 5 years, not 2 years. So when it came up in 2 years, I'm like, bro, who's going to buy this? So then it started turning into, well, we can get multipliers if we get involved with a private equity acquisition. And we had good numbers on the books and all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know, man. We had just left a corporate company that was pushing the public market. And that's where all that turmoil happened. And that was the first time, like, I lost, like, everything. Everybody we had lost everything. All the sales reps and everything. Like, we had to come over here because of that. It was terrible. So I was like, guys, I can't do this. Like, I'm just not into this. I don't know what happens to the people. My brother works there. I got a couple friends that still work there and stuff. I'm like, what happens to those guys when we sell, Like, there's too many bad stories and not enough good ones about that stuff. And it just became like a stalemate. And then there were some other personal things that I won't air out with them because I don't want them to get upset. I'm just being real with it. We just didn't align. And we came to a decision, that we had gone back and forth a few times. And it came down to, was I going to stay there or were they going to come, were they going to part ways? And I thought that, my decision that I came up with towards the end of the year was, at that time, it was the best for them and for me. I didn't get paid out what I probably should have got paid out, but I didn't collapse them financially because that was the goal was, if I'm going to stand on the sales reps, then how shitty would I be to cash out and leave them with nothing? So I parted ways amicably to an extent with them. There's still always going to be animosity there no matter what, because I'm not making them any more money and they're not making me any more money. So like obviously there's some ill will there. But I don't wish anything bad on their business. I just personally our friendships were definitely affected by it. But I love those guys. I really do. Like my time with them, I learned a lot. My time with that sales team, I learned a lot. And I wish that some things probably would have been done a little bit differently. I'm sure that when they're alone behind closed doors, they also wish things would have been done a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But we're here nonetheless, and those guys are going to go do their thing this year, and I'm going to go do my thing this year.
So is this something where I hear a lot of people say, never go in business with your friends? Is this
I
one
don't
of the
believe in
reasons?
I don't believe in that. I still don't believe in that. No. Because what's more risky though? Your friend, at least you know him. Like a lot of
Yeah.
these people are getting in bed with people they don't even know, and then I hear a lot of horror stories about that.
Yeah.
So like I guess I that's a weird. I don't even know, dude. Getting in business with anybody is a risk. Just understand that right out the gate. But because you don't know people's true colors, money exposes people. It doesn't make them change.
Yeah.
It just lets you know who they really
Right,
are. So like
right.
when real money starts getting made, and I'm not saying I had anything to do with that at Romans. Those guys had nothing to do with money being made. It was just the idea. And the philosophy of how to offload Roman's Roofing that we didn't align on, and it's okay. It's okay. Like we had those conversations. Like it, I chose to leave, so they didn't axe me out. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I chose to get up and leave. So at the end of the day, that's the decision that I made, and I got to stand on. So
Now, did you have an action plan for when you left, or
Nope.
was this another one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm not good right now. I'm leaving. Deuces.
So in 11 years of doing this, I have never ever been 1099 exclusive or not exclusive to anyone ever. The whole time I've done this. So when I left there, I told my fiance hates when I say this too. I told everybody I wanted to have fun. And she gets so mad. Well, fun doesn't equate to money. You'll find, well, it could. Let me see what's out there,
Yeah.
and I announced it because I don't know how to make a resume or anything, dude. I don't know how to do any of that. When I got in this industry, I knew the third day that I was never going to leave it again. Like this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at until I'm done. I'm going to sell roofs, and if the roofs, some reason they're done being sold, then I'm going to go sell vacuums or doors, door to door, or windows, or I'm going to sell something.
Yeah.
So like that's what I want to do. And once I came up with that determination, I was like, well, let's see what's out there. And it was crazy, bro. I've had a lot of ridiculous job offers, and then I turned down everybody who wanted me to be an employee, and there was a lot of them. And I'm like, I know for sure I'm not doing that. I know better than that.
Yeah.
However, I also don't want to own anything, so I'm like in a really weird
spot.
Yeah, really weird spot, and I didn't know how to approach it. And then I was like, fuck it, let's help these guys scale. So I'm gonna go train. I'll do some recruiting. Nobody wants to do that shit. People would reach out to me and ask me if I'd help them do stuff, and that's how I learned to start Empower and Master. Because people were calling me like, hey man, I got a quick question though. When you were at Romans, how the hell did you get so many people there? Like, how the hell did you guys hire that many people and blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, oh shit, all right, well, you guys don't know how to hire people? Okay, cool. Well, hey man, I do recruiting. Here's my price, And then it was like, oh, wow, they really do need help. Then it's like, well, how do you market then? I'm like, oh, the light's going off in my head and stuff. I'm like, dude, let me just do this. So I started Empower and Master, and then a couple buddies of ours started Total Care, and they're like, hey man, how would you like to scale up another business with high end bonuses, but no salaries and no affiliation? And I said, fuck, say less, baby. I
Yeah.
said, what are the bonuses?
Yeah.
They laid them all out, and I'm like, let's roll. Let's build this up. So now I'm building another company without having to be financially tied to it. Although maybe in the future that changes. But
Yeah.
I love what I'm doing right now, man. It's basically consulting and just being able to get in there and help people develop systems that I've utilized through my career and to get where I'm at now. It's just been amazing.
Bro.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
But it looked like we're still going, though, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever sent something, thanks. I don't know what that is, but thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I'm glad that we're all on our separate paths, though. To be honest with you, because I need people to be happy too. It's got to be a win-win scenario. So like, it can't just be about this makes me happy. I hope it works out for them.
Right. So let's switch gears, bro, because you're suing somebody, bro. Like, you don't have to get into all the details, but like
One of my former partners too. And then there's actually a group of guys that'll probably be involved in that. But yeah, it's I can't. Not a lot of it can get discussed, like
Right.
unfortunately on here. But
Well, I was just thinking because from the side of
they
like,
straight stole. That's what I could say. Is that like it was like a swift, flat out like, no, dude, like we're just not going to pay you on a lot of the reps. A lot of the reps lost their jobs and they were leaving. And then I could have stayed there, but I chose to roll with my guys, which is why I kind of like what I'm going through right now kind of sucks a little bit because some of those guys are also over there. But I'm like, hey man, I can't work here anymore. Like I can't do this with you guys anymore. This is insane. And I had a contract for certain tiers to be hit to get certain bonuses. And I fulfilled my end of the agreement. In fact, I worked past my contract into another year. And when I left, they basically told me that was it. Like I had shares in the company and everything, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they just don't exist. We'll just take those. We'll take all your bonus money that you were owed. We'll take the leftover commission that you were owed, and go fuck yourself. Have a good day." Yeah, that's basically what happened to me.
I just think it sucks.
I'm not going to see the money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows it too. Like they already filed bankruptcy and then moved some money over, and they got another acquisition and stuff. Like there's already a bunch of stuff going on with them still. The main guy passed away, so like I'm not gonna see the money, but it's the principle of the fact. At least I'm on record now fighting for it, and I made a promise to myself and to my family that moving forward, anybody who takes advantage of me financially. I will go after, like, to try to recoup it because I've rolled over and I've taken it 3 times.
Right.
I can't continue to keep doing it. That's insane.
Well, it just sucks, bro, because it seems like to me, bro, every time things are going good and it's cooking, you're building, it's like your blocks get kicked down or something happens. It's like, bro, like that gotta suck.
It does.
That gotta suck to keep having to rebuild. So like, what's the plan of like maybe building something or starting something where you don't have certain issues that's going to arise, and you can stay on track and keep building.
I don't know, man.
You say you don't want to own anything, but like
no, I don't want to own anything right now.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I still. So my goal is still the same. So my small goal is to get on stages and speak, and my stretch goal is to build an empire for a destination spot for sales reps.
So let's talk about the stages. So you've actually been on stages and starting to speak.
Yeah.
Like what's that? What does that feel like? For you because you've been trying to do it and like now you're accomplishing it. You're saying you was babying or whatever. But like, what did that first? Was it a call or did somebody like?
Yeah. So Jay Bradley reached out. So the very first time we bought tickets to an event, I'm not going to air it out. Bought tickets to an event and they told us that they'd have a breakout panel for me, like on the side, if the company that we were with bought a tent and booth set up there. So they bought the tent and booth set up there, and then they slipped it out from underneath me. And they were like, "Oh, sorry, it's filled, blah, 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 but thanks for your purchase," type of thing. So fleeced us basically out of 5 racks.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, crazy. So I was like, all right. So I then, like I said, if I fly off the handle, usually someone pissed me off.
Right.
So that pissed me off. So then there was a bunch of things I went back and forth with them on before that, and then they kept switching like the criteria to get on there. Long story short, they didn't want me to speak there. So I took that on the chin. I made a post, and I said, and I think this was at the end of we're in 2024, at the end of 24. I make a post in like November, and I'm like, hey, I got snubbed at another event trying to speak. And I put up a post of this little like stock thing in front of me going up. And I was like, and that's okay though, because today is the cheapest you're ever going to get me again. I was like, I promise you, like I'm coming. Like I will make it my mission to speak no matter what.
Right.
I'm going to speak on stage. And I told everybody that. And what ended up happening, did they kick me off?
Live discontinued due to inactivity.
Oh, wow. Because I wasn't responding to them?
Or
Let's pop that back on.
yeah, shoot.
That's crazy.
But I haven't went TikTok live before, so shoot.
Sorry on the middle of the podcast, but I want to keep it going.
It's all good, man.
I'm like, hey, we're here. Let's do it all together. That's crazy. Booting me off for inactivity while I'm in the middle of chopping it up. That's wild. Let's get you back on there. Sorry, guys, we're back. Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about now.
So you said that you made a post. This is the cheapest that anybody's ever going to get.
Yeah, so I put that post out there, and I'm at Wisconsin Dells with my family, and Jay Bradley, with Roof Camp, he reaches out to me and he goes, "Hey man, I've been following your podcast, I've been following your show, and I really like what you're doing. I really like what you're talking about. Would you like to speak on stage?" And I'm like, dude, I'm in like with Dells with my family. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to speak on stage. Like when? And he's like, in April. This is like November time. And he's like, we're gonna be doing something in Louisville, Kentucky. Will you come out? And he's like, I can't really afford to fly out there. I'm like, hey man, you don't gotta pay me shit. Like I'll drive down there. It's cool. So I drove my whole team down there, and we all went, and I spoke there, and it was awesome. And I practiced that with my mentor. I call him my mentor. He's not my mentor, my homie Deshaun, but he's my mentor. But he helped me work on my speech, break it all down so I have better stage presence,
Yeah.
And I worked so fucking hard on that speech, man. I really did.
Yeah.
And I got there and I cooked on it. And after I was done, I even felt good about it. I'm like, man, I hope people took something from that, bro. It was. Yeah, it was awesome. Basically, everybody's like, "Hey, man, you like stole the show up there." So then they invited me again for our Birmingham, Alabama.
I remember you posting about that.
And I went there, and same thing, man. I had a really good same speech because Deshaun told me you got to give the same one for the first year, so you master it,
Right,
and then you can move on and start adding some things to it. So I did that, and I did really well in Birmingham. And then basically I just jumped on it with him. Then Jay was like, "Hey man, me and Reggie Brock, who's amazing, they're like, hey, we'd like to have you be part of Roof Camp. Let's go do this together." And their mission was very similar to mine. I just want to help young reps not struggle, man. I want to give people drive, purpose. I want to give them the ability to see that this can go further than they even can imagine, like I want to be the forefront of doing that. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. And then we went to Dalton, Georgia to end it last year.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest I've done in front of that many people. I think it was like 100 and something people there. It was like the most I've done so far.
Cooking.
Yeah.
What?
And it felt so good. And I swear, dude, I'll go in front of 50,000 and cook on a stage. Like I love it. The adrenaline you get from it is so good. Like I'm all about that life.
So let me ask you a question, bro. What was that first time that you went on the stage? What was that feeling like when you got off the stage? And I know for a fact that people approached you.
Yeah.
That was in the crowd. Like, what did that feeling feel like, man? People kind of in line talking to you, probably want to get some pictures. Like, that had to be a dope feeling.
It's cool when that happens, but again, it's the days after. Like that part was awesome, like getting off there, everybody like clapping and stuff like that. Like that's always a good feeling.
Yeah.
But it's the messages you get. And when you go on you go on Facebook, 17 notifications. People adding you on there. Your Roof Trollz got a bunch of followers on it. The downloads go up. Like watching that, because that means that somebody there took something from it, and that's all you really want.
Yeah.
If you got 100 people in a room, I only need to touch like 3 of them. That's it. Like let me just 3 people have a good reaction from me, and that's the way I go about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna cater to anybody. I'm gonna throw my game out there, and you either like it or you don't like it, and we'll just roll with it from there. And then I just want to connect with my people,
Yeah.
And in doing that, I was able to connect with a lot more, and I just feel like, now I'm getting a little bit better at it.
Yeah.
And then we got 2 events coming up here. They haven't announced them officially yet, but I'm gonna break it right here.
Let's get it.
We got Chicago in June and Dalton, Georgia in October. So it's looking
Bruh,
like it's
mad
gonna be
respect, big dog.
yeah, it's gonna be good. And then hopefully I'm gonna bring my marketers to Chicago. I'm gonna give it everything in Chi-Town. Like that's
Come on now, you got it. You got
everything. So I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be a little bit bigger of an area. I intend to fill it, and then I'm gonna bring my marketing team out there to really dive in, and I'm gonna work on this speech actually for like 6 months as opposed to like the 2 from before. Like I'm gonna really bring something fun, and then hopefully. Next year, 2027, maybe I get the opportunity to, at the very least, have a breakout session at one of these events would mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe I'm keynoting somewhere.
So let me ask you this, bro. What's kind of your style when you're on stage? Because like when I go up, sometimes I don't like to be a performer, only because if you performing too much, you're not teaching. But
Gotta do both though.
You can't teach. Yeah, you gotta have a blend of both.
All
bro.
business
So, like,
is show business.
Come on now. So is it like just kind of talk to me kind of about like the blend of kind of stuff. Like, are you cracking jokes up there from time to time? Like,
oh yeah. So I make jokes. Again, one of my coaches, he basically the training coach that I had. He said that I forget how the formula is, but you want to make, there's a science to it. You want to make them laugh every like 5 to 7 minutes. This is how you retain information with them. So I'll subtly make jokes like Reggie Brock is an older gentleman. He's in his 60s, I think. He might even be in his. I don't want to guess his age. Sorry, Reg. But he's in he's primed.
Yeah.
And I have a part in my speech where I talk about Socrates, and I'll always every time that part comes up, I'm always like, and cool fact about Socrates for those who don't know it, him and Reggie Brock actually went to the same high school together. Stuff like that.
Right.
And like I'll make subtle jokes in there. I'll make some about Jay. He always tells everybody like, I want Elijah money. Like I'm okay if I make his money, stuff like that. Like it's just joking around. So yeah, I'll soften it that ways. But I'm inspired by people who speak from passion.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this name, and I hate when people ask me, like you just asked me, because like when I say the name afterward, they're like, "Homie, you got some fucking miles to go." And I'm like, and I know I do.
Yeah. Okay.
My favorite speaker of all time.
Okay.
Someone that I watch consistently, and in fact, I'm going to see him in Chicago in April. I'm going live to see him at his convention for the 1%. But Eric Thomas that's my guy.
Go.
That's my guy. I've seen him twice in the roofing industry on stage, and I mean that is, if I could ever even captivate even fucking 30% of the passion that that man spews, like I get chills watching him, bro. I cannot watch an ET video without like, I'm ready, bro.
Okay.
Like, let me go sign some contracts. Like, give me him, dude.
For a fellow ET fan like I am myself,
Yeah.
what is one of your favorite?
CJ too. CJ's just as fire as ET is. Yeah.
Both of them
Success
good,
podcast.
But if we,
no, Eric Thomas is on the top. Though.
Yeah,
He literally is the best.
Mad respect for CJ. But like, bro, what's one of your favorite or all-time favorite ET clips that you've seen out there, man? Like either on social. I know it's a lot, but if you could have one, you could have one.
The one that resonates the most is when he talks about being a dog, and that and you're not going to defeat him, because if you want him to quit or if you want him to lose, you're going to have to drag him out of it. Like he's going to give you everything that he has up to the point where physically remove him before he'll stop. Like that.